What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about Jesus Coin. Hit that like button and subscribe if you want to see more. You guys, we're doing big things today. It's crazy. We're at 6-0-1-3-2-6 right now. We've continued to move up. Before we get on the weekly, I want to talk about the 4 hour. I did expect somewhere around here that we were going to pull back at least to like 7 zeros, 9s, or lower, right? We absolutely, that was my expectation. The volume and the price were doing the thing where the price was growing and the volume was decaying. That combination tends to mark, slow down in growth, recoup, and then didn't get going. We didn't recoup at all. We just continued to grow, and volume actually came back, right? No, it's not as big as this volume was over here. No, it's not. But it is consistently more volume than we've seen before this move up, right? Volume is still growing. And this candle here is actually larger than that one, right? And then same thing, this one was about matched in that size. We're holding these highs, we're holding these lows, we're getting higher highs and higher lows. We could pull back at any moment from now. We absolutely could pull back. But, man, it just looks so damn bullish. And I want to go over why we could pull back from here. If we go over this high, the all-time high, to the relative low that we have here, we are at the 382 of this overall phase, and it's very common. It's extremely common. It's so common that it's almost to be expected that you'd find resistance on your 382 and move down to your 236 to find support and then move up. I don't think it'll take that much time. I mean, it could be like as early as next week. Jesus Coin's very volatile and these moves up. It could be as early as next week we move down there and then we move up. That's option one. Option two is this week we close above the 382. We hover around it maybe for a week or two, maybe just for a few days. Who knows? We hover above it, finding support, not breaking below it, and then we move to that same area, the 61869. Really, however we look at it, whether we go down first and then up, or we just go up, or we close and then we consolidate and then we move up, our next kind of target area is 60235, 60278. We're at 6-0-1-3-2 right now. So that's sizable gains in what could only be assumed would happen in a very short amount of time. The last time we found a low was over here. We moved up out of our just torrential downside. Moved up 85% in a week, and then the next week 230%. We've moved up 104% this week. So being that this is very likely the beginning of the next move up, we're already outpacing last time's breakout move. I don't know, that like the beginning of it, with more volume even, right? It's actually more volume, so it's kind of cool to see. Last time we didn't even stop at the 382, right? We went all the way up to the 61869. So who's to say that couldn't be the case right now? Though don't compare last time. I mean, it might follow the exact price transactions to a T, or fib transactions. I don't know what word to look for. Fib moves to a T. But likely it won't. But something to keep in mind is it has done this where it hasn't found resistance at the 382 and it has just moved straight up to that 618 area. So it just depends. What I'm the most excited for is our new all-time highs, because if we look at this from a time perspective, our low here was in September of 2023, the end of September, and we found our high at the end of November of 2023. That's a 2-month window where we grew like 60-something X, right? I forget how much it was total from a low to a high. 61, almost a 62x. Like crazy gains in a 2-month time frame. From a high to a low, our target areas that we could expect to achieve from the current price. This is if you bought here, right? It's pumped up 104% this week already from open to where we are now. If you bought here at this incredibly high price, relatively speaking, right? This is the highest price, you guys. This is the highest. If we closed here, this would be the highest close that we've seen since March on a weekly basis, right? The week of March 18th. Be the highest close we've seen if we closed here. If we close higher, it only get higher. We're engulfing literally months worth of price action if we close here. And even if you bought here at a very relatively high price point, the minimum target would give you an 8x. The maximum kind of expected target would be an 18x. 8x, $100 turns into $800. $1,000 turns into $8,000. 18x. 1,000 turns into 18,000. 100 turns into 1,800, right? Like, you want to mess around with a meme coin and turn a little bit of money that you don't care about, like $100 maybe. Not that anybody would like to lose $100, of course, but you're not going to lose sleep over it. If you put it in a meme coin, you roll the dice and it doesn't work out. But if you could turn $100 into $1,800 over the next 2 months, right? Like you've got money that you really don't care about to money that I don't know, that could help out a lot of people, right? It's not significant to a lot of people, that have more money than some people do, right? But I don't know. I feel like $1,800. That's a nice bit of change, man. You can roll that over into other cryptos and continue to profit off it. Let alone if it goes higher, and it absolutely could go higher. You guys, last time we saw a 61, nearly a 62x from a low to a high. If we were to see that same growth, a 61x would actually, that put us near our 1786 right there, right? So I mean, from the current price, that would give us like a 26x, right? So I mean, an 8x, a 18x, 26x, all these crazy targets that could happen by the end of the summer is what we've got to look forward to over the coming months. It's pretty cool, pretty excited to see that. And again, those targets, if I could name them out, would be 5011 to 5025, let's say. And then beyond that, of course, is acceptable, but that's our target area. We'll know that we are heading there once we break above this level here at 604427. When we close above that on a weekly basis, that's how we know it's go time. Until then, we could wig and wag, zig and zag, right? It doesn't really matter. But looking at this here, again, just to closing statements, don't be surprised if we pull back from here. Okay, if we pull back from this 382 to the 236, don't be surprised. We're pretty good looking on our weekly RSI. I'm not too worried about it if we did that. Daily RSI is overbought a little bit. It wouldn't be crazy for it to cool off. A 4-hour RSI just looks so dominant, man. Bouncing off the 63 times, like, it looks crazy. Looks really crazy. Let's see how this 4-hour closes. I'm really curious to see how the week closes. If we close above this 382, then I would relinquish the idea of us going down to the 601 area just below that. But if we close here or lower, I would be very much in favor of that move. And I would probably buy more down here personally to load up. If not, if we move up, maybe I'll buy more, give it like a day or two. I'm definitely planning on buying more Jesus coin, you guys, but I'll let you guys know whenever I do that. Of course, I wish I bought down here, but man, it wasn't my most recent purchase, but my worst purchase was up here at the all-time high. From there, we're at a sizable discount, right? 69.8%, essentially a 70% discount. So even if these lower prices don't come, I would be happy to buy it down here and help bring my average down, right? So that's not where I bought originally. My original buy was down here, like literally on the week of this low, right? That was literally my first purchase, and I bought all the way throughout this range. It's just I completed it from buying from the low to the high. But hopefully I could bring that horrible purchase up there at the worst time to buy. Hopefully I can bring that average down if we get some lower prices, or even if we hang out up here. I do plan on buying more Jesus coin is what I'm trying to say. And I will let you guys know whenever I'm doing that. I got nothing else to say, man. Things are looking good. I would love it if we stayed above 601. We can go below there, but just like close above there, or at least like close above 60 or 7095, right? That's where that 236 is. And then anytime that we get above the 618 here at 60235, that's when it's time to get excited. That's when it's time to get real excited, man. Jesus coin found its low on a cross, rose up from the ashes. Here we are, you guys. Higher highs, glorious, very glorious. I don't know what else to say. Volume's looking great on the daily. It's looking pretty decent on the 4-hour. We could just keep climbing up. If we close here, or at least above this blue line today, this will be the most consecutive closes on a daily basis that we've had above that 123 since we got below it. We had 1-2 days here, 1, 2, 3, 4 technically there, so we've got 4 now. 1, 2, 3, and then that one closed below. 1, 2, so yeah, 4 is the most that we've seen so far. If we can close today above it, that'd be 5, and that would be the most that we've seen this whole time. Just further implying that we could be seeing a change of tides, which I think it's beyond obvious at this point, but time will tell. If anybody out there is like, what about the rest of crypto? What if crypto dumps right now? Jesus coin doesn't seem to care, man, right? Crypto hit, like the crypto fear and greed index hit a low that it hasn't seen in a long time. We hit a 30 this week. This week, on the 25th of June, it's the 28th now, right? 3 days ago. It's Friday, so it was this week. We hit the lowest point on the sentiment, and look at what we're doing on this low sentiment. You know what I mean? So, of course, Jesus coin can move down from here. I'm not saying that it can't. I'm just saying I'm not worried about crypto. I'm worried about catching this train to the next stop, which I think is going to be, I don't know, man. I know that I keep talking about this 1272 to 1618 area, and it kind of would make sense. I feel like, I kind of curved the line there a little bit. I don't know. I feel like it kind of would make sense, but we could go higher. We could go a lot higher. It just depends on what's going on in the atmosphere, in the environment of Jesus coin by that time. So I don't know, man. I got nothing else to say. I'll see you guys on the next one. Hit that like button. Subscribe if you want to see more. Jesus coin is looking really good. Yeah. Bye-bye.